It's me, Westcoast Rob, man, and welcome to my podcast, You Bitch.
You are now listening to YeahDat the Podcast, hosted by Westcoast Rob.
All right. Thank you guys for for tuning into another episode. Today's a special episode. We got the one and only Jaxton Wheeler as our guest today. You know, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, my man.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Now, if you don't mind, would you please introduce yourself to those who aren't familiar with you?
So, I'm Jaxton Wheeler. I've been in the adult entertainment industry for over 10 years. Started when I was 19 as a stripper, and just, things just kind of progressed. They just kept progressing, and probably wasn't about 5 years into my porn career until I decided to take my name and really make it a platform, to give myself a voice, or to try to take what I was doing or how I was affecting people or influencing people and try to create a clear message with it, or create more of a inclusive community or anything, Right. I mean, if you want to be someone, your two best platforms are music and sex.
Of course. So, people love both.
I got one down. I'm working on the other.
Oh, we'll get into all that. I see you have music videos and all that stuff. We'll get into all that. So before we dive into your career, a little bit about your background, if you don't mind, covering where you're from, how old you are.
Absolutely. So I'm originally from Central Florida.
Okay.
And family moved me to Maine when I was 10.
Oh wow, culture
Went
shock.
to grade school there. Yeah, I know. I was glad to leave when I was done. So I started gravitating south after high school from Central Maine, Southern Maine, New Hampshire. Spent a few years in Boston. Then 2012, spent 5 years in Vegas.
Okay.
And came back to Central Florida about 4 years ago.
Okay. What part of Central Florida? Orlando?
Now, I'm originally from the Daytona area.
Okay. My sister lives there right now, actually.
Yeah, it's, back in the 90s, you had everything going on in Daytona, spring break, MTV.
Yeah.
It was a very happening area. Now it's a very crime-ridden area.
Yeah.
But
yeah, trust. I know all about it.
Now for me, it's like Tampa and Orlando. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned you were stripping. So what got you into stripping?
I grew up around a semi-nudist family.
Okay.
Right? So, nudity was nothing to really think or care too much about. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of grew up as a decathlete, so I didn't look bad naked.
Yeah. Okay.
And what happened one day is a coworker had approached me when I was 19 and asked me if I'd be interested in being a bouncer for private female strip shows.
Okay.
And living in a small town of Maine at the time, I said yes to any job that wasn't practical.
Right.
And on my way to meet the owner, she asked if I would be interested in modeling, if I would be interested in stripping. And then when I got there, she asked me if I would be interested in making a porno.
Damn. So all this is in Maine?
All that happened in one day in Maine.
Holy shit. Okay. That's what's up. So how was it?
So my first porn experience technically was with the owner, 3 other women.
Dang, man. That's a life that guys dream of right there.
Yeah, and the way I handled it, first off, I got drunk as shit. I drank so much vodka, it was not good. And then I had just started dating my first son's mother at the time.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't pregnant yet, but I still felt like a moral. I still felt like I had morals at the time, and I felt bad for being there.
Yeah.
And not telling her. So what I thought was much better after I drank a little bit was that, okay, if I don't fuck them, I'm okay.
Okay.
So what I did instead was I made out with one, ate out another, and then came on the owner's chest.
Oh, right on. Okay.
To me, that was a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I could have dicked them down, but I didn't.
Right. Okay.
And we're already there to shoot something, so I just can't be the
Yeah.
one lone dick and be like, no, we're not doing this.
So how much did you get paid for that?
Oh, that was for free.
Oh, my man. Okay. So your first
It was-
film
it was-
deal was for free.
Oh yeah, and I don't even think it went anywhere. Like, I've never seen that film.
Okay. So how was high school for you? Were you like that outgoing guy? Were you kind of shy, or was
I stayed to myself.
okay? So you're just shy. You kind of came out of your shell after high school.
No, I wasn't shy.
No.
I knew that I was not going to be interacting with most of the people I was going to high school with after high school,
Right.
so I didn't care.
Okay. So then.
It's like I need to do me. I need to focus on me during these 4 years because none of y'all have anything to do with the life I want to have.
Right. Now was.
So it was like
Go ahead.
I carried myself with confidence, and that pissed off a lot of people. Because it wasn't necessarily I thought I was better than anybody. I just saw so many people wasting their time. I saw so many gifted people fucking up their potential by partying too early or spending it with other kids that had no interest in their future and they would fuck it up for them. So I was like, okay, I got moved to Maine when I was 10. I want the fuck out of here. I don't want anything to do with this kind of life that's mediocrity.
Right.
I was like, I can't be fucking with y'all. Because if I fuck with y'all, I'm gonna end up just like y'all.
Okay. So what were your like aspirations and stuff in high school to graduate and just go back to Florida, or?
No, I was just trying to. Honestly, I was training to be a decathlete.
Okay.
So my life was pretty much just training to be great in track and field.
Okay. So track and field, and then went from
football to stay in shape.
Of course.
Track and field. But I mean, my life was just sports and just technique work and just the training aspect and just learning about it and investing in myself enough so I can carry myself out of whatever situation that I'm in.
Yeah, of course. That's that ticket. Right. Okay.
So, like people respected me.
Yeah.
I would say I was not Mr. Popular. Everybody knew who I was. And I had a lot of respect of the right people, but I was just one of those people. I was honest. I was just like, I would tell people like, look, you're fucking up. You're going to go nowhere if you keep doing this shit.
Right. Okay.
I was like one of those kids on the football team. I'm like, guys, we fucking suck. You know why we suck? Because you're a bunch of lazy pieces of shit. And every other school is out training you guys. I can't be the only one busting my ass.
Yeah.
You know what
just
I mean?
That
Like,
blunt guy. It's all right.
And that's why I like track and field, because my teammates couldn't affect my individual performance.
Right. That's good.
So
good.
I was just that guy. I would help anybody. But I was just that guy that just like, I don't need to be a part of your crew. I don't need to be a part of your clique. I don't need any of it because where I'm going has nothing to do with that shit.
Okay. So where did those decathlete like aspirations kind of get out of the picture when you started doing your adult film stuff?
No. You're probably what, in your 30s as well?
Yeah, I'm 36.
Are you a sports guy at all?
Hell yeah, my whole life.
So you remember ESPN back in the day? They would play like Beyond the Greats.
Yeah.
So you'd like watch your favorite athlete. They would tell you like how they like grew up, blah 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 blah. So I watched one on Walter Payton. I watched one on Lance Armstrong. And this was when I was 10 years old. And this is like when I got moved to Maine. I had a lot of bad things going on for me. And I watched those two, and I saw what they were at their prime of their careers.
Right.
But the two correlations that Lance and Walter both had, honestly, was just that they started off training like professional athletes at a young age.
Okay.
Like Walter's dad had him busting his ass on hills as a kid.
Yeah.
You try to tell a normal kid, hey, let's go work out, and they're going to bitch, they're going to moan, they're going to cry and pretend like they're injured before you can get them to break a sweat now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
To think of a kid sprinting hills at 6 years old, come on. What other kids, like, that kid's going to dominate any other 6-year-old just because of the training aspect alone.
Yeah.
And then, Lance was doing freaking biathlons at 7 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
that's insane.
so at 10 years old, I was like thinking like, oh my God, I do not want to grow up here. Like none of these people are happy. None of these people are doing anything. I was just like, I started late. I was like, I have no parental like influence telling me I should do this or that. I was like, I got to do something for myself. I found athletics. I just dove into it, and I knew I had to cut off anything and everything that did not add or get me closer to what my goals were.
Right.
Like I just knew, like I didn't want anything to do with like the life that I had. Like I was on pace to be a juvenile delinquent because I had like a really, really shitty childhood, like just physical abuse, mental abuse, a lot of other shit like economics and things like that. So I was just on a bad path. So when I found it and I realized, like I just latched to it, and I was just like, anything that does not support this, I don't care if it's friends, blood, anything. Like this is my fucking life. I'm going to take control of it, and I'm going to get to where I want to go, regardless of what anybody says to me.
Okay. So sports kind of saved your life then.
Essentially, it was like, learning to live for something, like, but also what I found was, I think the most important lesson that I learned in like the time that I put in just seeing the improvements that I made, and like the level that I got to was really stupid. Mm-hmm. And then I had a back injury when I was 21, and I've been fucked since then.
Okay.
But I'm someone, when I weighed 155 pounds, I had a 500-pound squat.
Damn. Okay.
Like I would run up hills with 300-pound linemen on my back.
Damn.
Like I trained and I did everything that just supported that, and just so. But what I learned is just having faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Through everything. Like if you want something, you can't give up on it.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have hurdles. You're going to have your most closest people to you question it. You're going to have the world throw you shit that's going to make you think, I really shouldn't be maybe doing this.
Right.
But it's at those times when you actually double down and just stick to the process that like you find yourself living life in a way that other people are now envious of.
It's true.
Because you have to go out and you have to risk and you have to sacrifice. But at the end of the day, what you learn is when you just keep believing in yourself, that if you just do instead of ask why or what could be or what could have, if you just accept things for what they are in the moment and just react as you know, as your intelligence has collectively led you to act. If you have a good goal, right, you have like certain patterns that you follow. If there's a problem, there's like certain solutions depending on what you're doing,
right,
that you deal with every day.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get hit in the face, don't become overwhelmed. Trust your process.
That's good shit right there.
Eliminate stress, cut it out, and you'll find that the more you dedicate yourself to something, and the more you withstand anybody trying to tear you away from it, the sweeter the reward is around the corner.
Oh yeah, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, so sounds like you were a high profile, high level athlete until around 21 when you suffered your back injury. So that was in college?
No, I was walking downstairs just to get a yogurt one morning.
Of course, that's how it always happens. Some freak accident.
I just slipped on the step, fell flat on my ass, and ruptured my L5.
Oh my goodness! So were you competing collegiately at the time, prior to?
So the plan for me out of high school, because the only thing that sucks for me is I'm 5'8".
Okay.
Being a decathlete at the Olympic level, the hurdles really fuck me because of the height.
Right.
And just the physics of it.
Yeah.
So I figured I was going to go to community college for a year, give a shit about my grades for a moment, and then transfer to like a D1 school like El Paso.
Yeah. Okay. UTEP.
And just become a starter by my second year as a corner or safety. Yeah, UTEP. Yeah, that was going to be the plan. But I had like a nagging knee injury that I never took time to figure out what it was. And by time I was dealing with, it was a really bad winter, so we had like a lot of canceled classes. And I just was in the mind frame for it, and I was just like, you know what? Before I just rack up a bunch of student fucking debt here, I was like, I'm just gonna just drop myself out. And I was actually, the fucked up thing is a week before I ruptured my disc, I was in the process of, I was going to start training for MMA.
Oh shit! Okay.
I had just moved to New Hampshire, and I actually met a guy at the gym who was doing professional fighting. He had invited me over to his house to start training with them.
Yeah.
And a week later, I ruptured my disc.
Fuck. Damn. So how long was the healing process?
Took me 6 months to be able to bend at the waist.
God damn. Okay.
So, like, I ruptured it the night before. I went to the gym the next day. I did squats. I warmed up with 315 with 3 sets of 15. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then I went to do my leg extensions. I extended my right leg like it's nothing because I do single legs to start.
Yeah.
Just
same.
so each leg can.
Yeah.
And then I went to extend my left leg, and it just wouldn't. It just would not go. And I'm sitting there like. And my quads are powerful, so I'm like trying to like squeeze these motherfuckers. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, like the gel had protruded onto my left sciatic nerve, and then for the next 6 months, I could not. This was my waist. I could not bend more than that.
Oh.
Without
shit.
without almost tears coming down my eye because like it was just I couldn't. So like every day trying to put on like shoes to go to work.
Yeah.
It was like agony. Like if I didn't have a son on the way at the time, I would have.
Damn, man. Well, good thing. Good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, good thing that didn't happen. So after. Okay, so you're going through that process right now. Your injury, can't bend at the waist. What were you doing as your occupation then?
So I have a sales background. When I lived in Maine, I did a lot of like telephone sales, inbound, outbound, door-to-door stuff. I tried a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But my background was just sales.
Okay.
And then after high school, I dipped into personal training, which was just natural since I've been doing it since I was like 14
Athlete.
anyways.
Yep.
It was just a natural move. And then I was living in Boston. I was a trainer in Boston right before I got into the adult industry.
Okay.
And the funny thing is when I was a kid, they ask you in school, like, what are your aspirations?
Right.
And my top 3 was Olympian, porn star, business management.
Okay. In that order?
Yes, I tried to fly. I tried to fly close to the sun with the Olympian thing. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever had real aspirations of wanting to be that before, and actually be knowing you're physically capable of being possibly within the realm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like one of those life goals that no one could ever take away from you, right?
Right. Of course.
It's like if you were a music producer and you got a Grammy or some shit. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I got close. But oh well. Next endeavor, I crushed it.
So how the teacher or whomever react to that answer, the porn star answer?
I honestly can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I was probably talked to.
Hey man, you're just being truthful though,
I was being truthful. It was a beautiful time.
So your second goal, you got to fulfill your second goal. How did you end up starting that? You did your first film in Maine where you weren't really into it. How did you actually?
Oh, I was into it. I just felt bad.
No, yeah.
Oh, trust me, I was into it. So, okay, another thing about me is, I really grew up constantly being ostracized for a lot of different reasons, and outcasted, and not ever really accepted by most communities that my family would move into for existential things that I wasn't aware of as a child. Mm-hmm. You're not aware of how communities talk about each other and how
not at all.
People treat the families, and it's sick, really. Yeah. So I grew up dealing with a lot of that, and when I was doing the stripping, I had recommended to the company that we but we also offer like the male to male services for the stripping as well. Because I'd done dancing for women, it was fun, blah blah blah. But at the end of the night, I stepped out of the door to work. So that means when I come home, I need money that equals something that's worth working for.
Right.
Like if I just want to get my dick sucked, I can just go get my dick sucked. I don't have to reserve hours that I need to be working to pay my bills.
Right.
So, dancing for women was fun, but it was not, it just wasn't really paying.
Yeah, financially, the benefit wasn't there.
Right. And I'm somebody who's always been like comfortable with my own sexuality.
Yeah.
Like I have to explain how I am to people all the damn time, but it's I don't really give a shit. Like nobody has to be like me or
you're you.
I've never asked anybody in my life what their sexual preference is in my life. And so I recommended that we dance male for male, and it was a smash success for them. That the LGBT community has always, in my opinion, just been more warming and opening and accepting than what I call the mainstream.
Yeah.
Which is made up of predominantly straight people.
Of course. I know what you mean.
So they're very hypocritical. They're very judgmental. They're very two-faced. It's the corporate world. It's all that bullshit. It's all fake.
Yeah.
Because if everybody knew everything about everyone, they would destroy everything anyways.
Of course.
So it's like who can keep their secrets the best.
Right.
So I recommended we did that. It was a success. Like I love the community. I love the vibe of the people. Like I'm not on the bi spectrum. I'm really not in my day-to-day life attracted to men. Mm-hmm. Like and especially like the more masculine a dude is, the less attractive that I find him.
Okay, you like the more feminine.
If I were to.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And for me to be able to be in the mood to be attracted to a guy. It has to be like an actual bisexual experience.
Okay.
Like I'm just not in that space with guys unless there's also a female present.
Okay.
The only exception is, my trans friends. Mm-hmm. But that's mainly because they hit on all the visual, the auditory, the feel. It's so I could say if I'm hanging out with my trans female friends that something more organically could happen that way.
Okay. Yeah.
But if someone's just a presentable man, you're like a bro to me.
Right. So when you did a film where it was male, how do you mentally prepare for that?
So, if you're ever on a porn set of one of those, you'd see some guys on their phone. You might see one or two models maybe going off by themselves or interacting with each other. I just go inside my head and I find a scenario that works for me for the day. I start just creating fantasies in my head. And they have nothing to do with what's going on around me. Okay. They're just my own spank bank that I'm creating, and I'll just hit on something that I really, really want to do, and I'll just imagine someone, and I'll just start walking through it in my head, and then I'll get to the point that really just kind of turns me on, and I'll just hone in on that.
Man, that takes some mental fortitude because you have to
hone in on that. The director, I'm ignoring the other models around me, and I'm just like,
man, because you have to hone in on that, and then you have to do the scene and act and all that stuff at the same time. Kudos to you for that, man. For real.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of people like to make a big stink the fact that I'm not gay and that I've done gay porn. It's but what they don't understand about the industry though is another thing why I didn't start doing straight porn first is because I would have got paid $300, $400 a scene. Mm-hmm. Working male for male, I was getting paid $3,000 to $35,000 to $4,000 for the same or less work.
Right. Yeah, I heard that. I heard there's predominantly more heterosexual males doing gay porn than there are.
Yeah, I mean, it's because at the end of the day, we're all still in the same adult industry. We all still do the same testing.
Yeah.
And any female that's not ignorant to the education of STDs and just sexual health really has no reason to be prejudiced against a male that does gay porn as well, if they're bi or straight or whatever their reason is.
Yeah.
Because we literally all do the same test.
Okay.
And I know for a fact that the females in the porn side and their personal lives are just as big as sex workers and sluts as the males are. The only difference is the mainstream is getting to form the opinions of what is gross or not gross.
Yeah, that's true. The consumer.
So like how many straight kissing things you see all around you, and the moment you see a female or male kiss, there's talk about it.
Right.
Like even it has to be talked about.
Dang, that is crazy, man.
So another thing too that nobody understands or realizes, the moment a guy does gay porn or bi porn or trans porn, I don't know, they might have laxed on the trans porn. Your titty wasn't out, right?
It's all right.
So what nobody cares to talk about is like, okay, like a guy like me. The moment I do one gay scene, I'm blacklisted from all the straight studios.
Yeah. That is crazy.
Not because of character, not because there's anything wrong with me, not because I'm doing anything unethical, literally because of homophobia.
That's fucking crazy, man. Even nowadays? Even nowadays? That's crazy.
As much as they can. Listen, corporate doesn't care about you. They're just a chameleon to make sure they keep making money. It's kind of like all these corporations giving a shit about Pride during June. They're just trying to get your money. They're just trying to get you to buy their rainbow shit.
Yeah, of course.
That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the straight side is only going to say what they need to say to make it appear like they're not the bad guy. They'll do as little as they need to get away with it. It's like the United States making Juneteenth a thing, but not doing anything about civil rights or police immunity or, but they give Juneteenth 2 years after Asians get attacked for 2 weeks and they pass an Asian hate bill. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like,
of course.
So the straight side and how they act is, I've always been vocal against them. I've always been vocal against the agents and how they lead the females through the industry. It's very racist. It's very prejudiced, and it's very homophobic. Like a female, when they get in, what they'll typically try to do for a girl is they'll coach them through their career, because the straight side has like a formula for models of how they're going to milk their image, right?
Right.
Because that's how they view each model as a product or a brand, right?
Yeah.
So corporate America. So a girl, their typical career will go solo until the cells start dipping. Girl, cells. Girl, boy, cells dip. Fetish. The last thing they tell them that they can do is work with black models.
Wow.
They tell them that is at the tail end of your career, and that is when you will start going downhill.
Dang, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy. Was there any time where you felt like you were just tired of all the BS in the industry?
From the very beginning. And you know what? And I patiently waited until I felt like I had clout enough.
Yeah.
To start, grabbing my balls.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was doing it from the get-go. Every interview I got, I was pushing it out there. I was leaking it out there. I was letting them know what the straight side was doing, like how they're just bullshitters and con artists, and just like these white dudes are just fucking evil.
Yeah.
And then what had happened is about the peak of my career, we were starting the crossover models, the bi ones of us were starting to push into acceptance. Like at the peak of my career, we had a lot of things go down in the adult entertainment industry. One of the things was fat shaming was a big thing that we were tired of. At the I don't know if you know what AVNs are.
Oh yeah, of course.
They would make the BBW models walk a separate red carpet.
Wow.
Like, if you don't think that doesn't make them feel like
yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like, so like there's a lot of things like that. The fat shaming, the homophobia, the transphobia, like we attacked hard.
Yeah.
And you had people like me, you had people like Lance Hart, you had people like my late best friend Alexander Gustavo. You had a lot of us like good guys, good attractable guys, respectable, consent culture, just pushing forward, getting seen more. You know, the female models absolutely loved us because we tend to just be more secure about ourselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? B, generally, the gay models and the bi models are far more attractive than the straight males. Because what nobody realizes is when they hire males, generally within the straight porn, it's all within like a clique of friends. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's like their pussy train.
Oh, okay.
They don't want you fucking with it either.
Really? So it's really click oriented.
Yes.
Okay.
So much so. That's why you always see like, you always see the ugliest motherfucker.
And that's true though. That's true.
They're friends or they did something for the person who owns the studio. You know what I mean? It's like that. Yeah. And trust me, the females, like the ones that are educated and do their research, because again, the models agents will let them know, like, don't hang around crossovers, don't do anything with people that have done male on male work before, because it's going to do this to your career and that to your career. The fans don't give a shit.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit. Like if the number one straight female did a scene with me right now, the last thing the fans are going to give a shit to do is to look up my fucking career.
Right. That's true.
And even if they did, they don't really give a shit because they're her. You know what I mean? Like if they're straight, they're looking at her anyways.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are watching it because they just want to see me fucked, well, my fans already know that I'm just who the fuck I am and don't give a shit.
And that's why they're watching it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's this industry is just it's so toxic. It really is. And another thing that we try to address, and I don't think they hit it hard enough, is the mental health issue in the industry. Mm-hmm. You know, another thing if you ever pay attention to the industry, you'll always hear about the females that kill themselves. The females, when the gay models, bisexual models, and trans models are committing suicide at a much higher rate.
That's crazy.
We don't hardly get any coverage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's my entire career. What I kind of used it for was a platform. Because I'm a very opinionated person. I've always been supportive of the LGBT movement and just human rights in general. So I bided my time. I built, stayed professional, and then when I felt like it was about time to kind of rise up and take a leadership role, that's what I did. But then I found myself with like the face of the straight industry, mm-hmm. and an opportunity for them presented itself, and I, within my fashion of being too opinionated, said something I shouldn't have said, and for an issue that should have been about mental health, because of my comment, it was able to be taken from that and just placed solely upon my shoulders, being the crossover model, bisexual performer, muscle-bound dude type. It was just, So I've dealt with them, still dealing with them, and I
read a little bit about that in your bio on your website when I was reading about your book, how they kind of blackballed you because of your stances.
And if you ask like a lot of models that are my friends, like even like they'll say like there's a lot more to it, because even they're like I've never really seen them like go so hard on somebody when there was so many other people that said so much worse, did so much worse, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, the fact that the reason why they went after me was proven to be irrelevant.
Right.
So then why still harp on me? Why still stay on me? Well, because if you allow me to come back up, I'm going to raise the issue, the real issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make the mainstream look at itself in the mirror and see the piece of shit for it really is and expose it, tear it down if I can, and let the models rebuild the shit.
So would you say like the blackballing in like the mainstream industry kind of affected your platform or whatnot? Or are you still able to do what you do?
No, in all their piss and rage and vinegar, were not able to do anything to my platform other than affect studios from hiring me. Okay. My platform was still there.
Yeah.
Now, I had 90,000 people on Twitter about 3 years ago almost, and then I made a comment towards Kylie Jenner and got myself banned on Twitter.
Oh, you don't talk about the royal family.
I know, right?
Get out of here.
So that's what happened to Twitter.
Yeah.
And once you're banned on Twitter, you're banned. Like, don't matter. Like, I can create a company just because I own the company. It's banned from Twitter.
That's crazy.
So that platform left, not because of that, just because I called some bullshit out. And then I was at like 90,000 on Instagram, and because they don't like sex workers, I had a picture and some boxers for Christmas, and I got banned for sexual something.
Man, how much shit you see on IG in regards to like women and being scantily clad, that's crazy, man. The double standards and shit that in our society.
Yeah, and the fact that Playboy has a page.
That's crazy.
You know, like, isn't that not just sexual in nature in itself? Like, shut the fuck. I was like,
it's crazy.
It's like if two girls in one cup had a page. Like, what? Like,
how do you do it nowadays? Do you work with a studio? You have your own studio, or is it just mainly out of your website?
I mean, I'm fortunate as of right now that because of how, like, when I was at my peak, like the studios were the ones spending their money for the marketing, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, like, instead of being just a solo independent producing my own content, doing contracted work with all these different studios, you know, my image is getting pushed around with their multi-million-dollar marketing budgets that I can't fucking touch.
Right.
So over 10 years, that got me a lot of exposure. So at this point, I'm still able to comfortably sit and just make, you know, like, enough people know who I am that enough finds me to make what I need to do for myself.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. You know, the OnlyFans helps. I do have my IG back up and building.
Yeah.
You know, I have a Facebook. I'm not really too... I didn't do a whole lot of effort to like separate people knowing who I really am from my porn name.
Right, your stage name.
So, but I mean, I have the Jaxton Wheeler page on my Facebook, but there's a lot of crossover between like some of my fans and supporters and my private shit, just because, you know, Jaxton Wheeler is like the vehicle for the bigger platform, but who I am still individually. It's not like I put on a show or a facade.
Right.
Some of what I do is role playing, and some of what I do is for the act of the character. Mm-hmm. But the genuine just feeling of like who I am and how I am is just me.
That's good. That's good. So explain Dom Gang. What's Dom Gang?
So everybody assumed when I first came out to it that was just purely sexual, and you know, can't say I blame them. It's not like I would lead you to think anything else from my career. Mm-hmm. But what it really is, you know, like I said, towards the end of my career, not the end of my career, I'm still in it. Towards the end of, like, before all the shit went down, you know, I was a huge advocate for models. Whether it was making sure they're treated fairly, they treat each other fairly, the people coming in, you know, did things with etiquette and ethics. I created Dom Gang because I wanted to help influence like the younger generation of males. So I wanted to create a network of dominant, more natural. I don't like to use the word alpha sometimes, but just, I wouldn't say leaders are born. I'd say leaders are made.
Okay.
Some of us come into our own at different times.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's literally there's no prerequisite for it.
Right, I agree.
So I want to create like a network of individuals that are self-aware enough that they're able to help other people that seek it or need it. And I feel BDSM and a lot of the stuff that the lifestyle has to offer beyond the sex, you know, it's like a tool. It's like the Bible or anything else you try to use to get people to comprehend and learn about themselves or certain lessons in life. I feel like BDSM is a great tool to use to help individuals out of a lot of trauma, to help them understand things about themselves, to empower them. And it leads to a, you know, not just a better necessarily sex life, just a better quality of life.
Okay. Is that a genre you've always like dabbled in, or is it something that you're kind of new to?
Like life
BDSM.
coaching?
No, BDSM.
No, BDSM. I've been involved in BDSM for over 10 years.
Okay.
It just all kind of went together. I've just always been sort of around it, I guess.
Okay. What about life coaching?
Life coaching, that started early too. Because again, I took control of myself when I was 10.
Okay.
And I just made a decision for myself. And you literally would have been like, what the fuck? Who's telling you to do this? Like,
yeah.
Like,
so you just grew up fast on your own.
Yeah, because I just realized some things. I was like, damn, I want to be great too. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck here. I don't want to fucking be in my 40s and sad that I didn't leave. I didn't want to like not try for something. Like I'd rather like go for something and make the attempt and know that I went for it than just to be like, oof, that'd make me uncomfortable. Maybe I just better not, because what if you do and it happens for you?
Right.
You know, you never know. You have to keep taking chances. You know, it's you haven't failed until you quit.
That's right. That's right, man. People can learn a lot from you, man.
I'm just one person.
Hey.
But if I can just put it out there, you know, openly and honestly, and people can see that I did not come from success. I did not come from popularity. I didn't come from having it easy. I didn't come from people liking me. And yet still here I am because I want to be.
There you go. So with you being in the industry, does your work come home, or like do you differentiate the two? Like is it always like sex or whatever, or does it just
depends on what home is?
Home for you. What's home for you?
So it and when I say that, so I have kids.
Okay.
During the periods of my career when my kids lived with me, no, nothing came home.
Okay.
And, you know, just because that's how it had to be.
Right, of course.
You know, kids are more important than anything.
That's right.
And, you know, their environment's more important than anything. And a stable environment's important so they have routine and can learn efficiently and grow and be stable. And then the times where my kids aren't living with me, my career doesn't ever stop unless I take time away from it.
Okay.
So if I don't have my kids with me in my home and my home is separate from theirs, you know, when I go home, it all depends on what's going on.
So you don't, are there ever those days, say when you're by yourself without your kids, you ever come home and just don't want to do anything?
Oh,
like
fuck it. That's what video games are for.
Yeah.
That's how I decompress. I dive into my video games and I just allow my mind just like really get like sucked into something else. So I can just like not think about just because I do everything myself too.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a manager. I've never had an agent.
Okay.
So my whole entire schedule, everything that is to happen, everything that has to be followed up upon, everything, like the checklist never ends.
Damn.
So
Busy.
when I can just zone out of that for a moment and just let my brain calm down and just focus on something really not too important but just semi-challenging,
Yeah.
like that's my excuse me, that's been my go-to for years.
Okay. All right.
It's like a role-playing game or a shooter.
Okay. So when you have when you're in a relationship, is it hard for you to watch your partner if they're involved? And before you get in a relationship, do you let them know, like, hey, this is what I do? But for the most part, they probably already know who you are. But
so I would say I'm not big on really ever watching. If I'm with somebody, if I'm with somebody that I care about,
Yeah.
I don't really care to okay, here's the difference. If we're in person and we're all doing something together, it's just there within the visual. It happens. I'm not looking I've had girls in the past mistaken think that oh, you want to watch. I'm like, no, actually, no. If I'm in the fucking room, I'm interacting. If I'm not interacting, something's wrong. But I don't ever care to receive videos of somebody I'm with fucking somebody else. Like, I don't.
Right, of course.
If they are in the industry, I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Okay.
Just there's so much other shit to watch.
Yeah. True.
And as far as people being aware of who I am, yeah, I'd say for the past 6+ years, anybody that I've gone to date, I've just been 100% open with.
I mean, as you should have. You should be. I mean.
When I first got into it, I didn't with one. I didn't with one. I didn't, because mainly I didn't really expect it to go anywhere at first. I think, you know what I mean. It was supposed
this is
to
early
be
on.
It was supposed to be just casual, and then it got involved. And at the time, I just started, so I wasn't really sure how long I was going to continue doing it. Period. Anyways, right. So it was just lesson learned the hard way, and then never put myself in that position again.
There you go. You ever get tired of creating content? I don't feel like going to the scene
maybe for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
If you look at my OnlyFans, I've been so fucking lazy. No, it's just I'm so used to working with a team. I'm so used to working with professional studios. So to create anything other than professional quality content just feels like, I don't know, just slop.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the same. I'm just like, and then these models that just do OnlyFans content are all just like, no, I just set something up and fuck. I'm just like, oh God Christ, you have no vision. I'm like, because I can get creative with shit. Like, okay, I had this kid I worked with, Diego Grant. He was actually a top model on OnlyFans when he first started, because that's the first platform he went on ever. Uh-huh. So all the models that start off on OnlyFans have a much better chance of making a shit ton of money than models like me, because I have so much content out there that you can see for free.
Right.
You don't have to be subscribed to my OnlyFans to see what I look like and what I can do in my asshole.
Right. It's out there already.
Everything you can think of is already out there.
Yeah.
So the reason why people sign up for mine is for that personalization and that communication with me.
Okay.
So I did this one with this kid, and I told him, I was like, I want to make it look like security footage, right? I was like, I'm going to take out the audio, so I'm going to literally coach you through this as we're walking through the scene. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what we're doing step by step, so it makes it look like I'm beating the shit out of you, and then I fuck you.
Yeah.
So I set it up in a quiet high corner. I stacked some shit, put my phone in my shoe, angled it down so it looked like it was in the corner. And I was like, when we went to film it, you didn't know it was going to be black and white, but I knew how I was going to edit it.
Yeah.
So we walked in, I shut the door, I said, okay, I'm going to pretend to slap you, just move your head back and forth, and I'm like talking the whole time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw you onto the couch now, just go, blah, blah, blah. And the way it came out, it literally just looked like security footage. Like, it looked like you caught me beating the shit out of him and fucking him.
Damn, okay. You got a lot of hits off of that?
Stuff like that. I had a Christmas one, too, that was beautifully done. And I don't know where that footage went. But that's how I like to shoot it. I don't like just...
You ever want to start your own production company or anything like that? Your own studio?
Yeah. But another thing, too, that I'm dealing with a lot is just the slander and defamation still.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have, because of the August Ames thing, and then, the way my ex-wife selfishly left me and tried to, like, blow up my name and attempt to create a name for herself to kind of, like... I read all that. Because she tried to, like, side herself with the other side. Uh-huh. What's fucked up is I gave her that play. Before divorce, I was like, the only thing you really need to do, hun, is if you want a career, is just start bad-mouthing me in interviews and just line yourself with the people that hate me.
Oh, and that's
I was like, they don't think they would just welcome you in just to get dirt on me? Like,
yeah.
Come on, be smarter than that.
Being condescending and it backfired.
Oh, no, I knew. I already knew.
Oh, okay.
I spoke it into existence.
Well, there you go. Well,
so like as far as my own production company, it's just hard to put together a team too.
Yeah.
Like I've been trying to put together a team for so damn long, and it's the money that can be made is great, but just the problem I just keep having is nobody has vision. No one can see like, oh, we got to put work in now so we can make a lot of money in the near future. Everybody thinks it's money now, or else not worth the work.
All right.
And it's like, oh, well, you'll never fucking start and finish a project.
So is that your, would you say that's your career goal? Like, what are your career goals right now?
So, like the porn, it's in its twilight phase. So with Dom Gang, I'm looking to establish some new faces. I'm 33. Mm-hmm. I would like to get some more like mine younger individuals, male and female and trans. It's not just a male thing.
Yeah.
Like going with the program, kind of like be at the face of consent and just common sense and logic for the younger generation. That's the porn side. That's the Dom Gang side. I have goals within my musical pursuits that I'm doing as well. I just passed my class exam for my real estate license, so I got to go get tested for the exam for that. Get my real estate license.
Good luck.
I'm involved in the crypto aspect as well. There's a lot of things. I got a family too. I have my mom's always been important in my life, and whenever I can and I'm in position to, I've always been helping my mom.
Good.
That's another thing that really hurt me about my career too, is because not only did I take 10 plus years to build a career where I was able to be loud and boisterous on the benefit and behalf of my peers, but the career I was building as well was allowing me and purposely like to help take care of somebody important to me.
That's good.
So like, when it all got taken away, it was just kind of like just a punch in the gut extra.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of goals.
Did your mother always stand behind you and with your ventures or what?
The good thing about my mom was that her only thing is that I'm happy and healthy.
Ah, that's cool.
So it's not like maybe I had the best role model or guidance from her, but at the very least, my mother wasn't someone who attempted to stifle me from going after things I felt strongly about. Okay,
that's cool, man. As long as you had her support. I mean, whether she was agreed with what you were doing or not, that's always cool. That's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah, it's been nice. She knows every aspect of what I do. She doesn't know. She really doesn't like have an understanding of like where my porn career went, as far as like just how like globally it like actually became something.
Yeah.
She doesn't have like an understanding of that. She just knows that I do porn. I do sex work. I do live performing, and
That's what's up.
I travel alone a lot to a lot of places. I maybe shouldn't, but it is. It just is what it
That's
is.
what's up. So with your dom gang, are you just strictly, or like you said, you're open for like all new, younger personnel, like men, women,
And
trans,
older
whatever.
too. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who just misunderstand me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of people who take the time or have seen me or or know where I'm coming from, and I'm for them. But there's a lot of different ways to teach, and my methods are not going to fit everybody.
Right.
So that's another. Go ahead.
With your team that you're looking to build, are you just looking for people to be in the one genre, or are you open for like all kinds of people from different genres?
When you say genres, are you talking about just the adult industry?
No, I mean say like BDSM. So
No, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to do with BDSM.
okay.
To me, a dom can just be a dominant personality type.
Okay.
A dom can just be somebody who is put together enough and confident enough that they don't mind giving you the advice you need.
Okay, nice.
There's people in the world that will what's the phrase I'm looking for? They will defer responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, two people walk by a homeless man and they see him struggling with something. Person A will walk by, do nothing. That's called, deferring responsibility. Deference of responsibility. They walk by, even though that person needs help, they expect somebody else to do it.
Okay.
Person B walks by and helps the person because they take the responsibility. They come upon something. They have the ability to do something. Nothing else to do. It costs them nothing. So why wouldn't you?
Right. Okay.
It's like this. You're walking down the street one day and you notice somebody tearing up and on the verge of not doing so well. Perfect stranger. You can just walk up to that person, say something, and totally change their day.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it's like the act of random kindness, like, is infectious.
Oh yeah, I agree, my man. I agree.
Like one of the reasons I really liked being in Berlin was how the community naturally were just compassionate and considerate of each other.
Really?
You could just feel it. Just the fact, like, okay, I dated a girl there and we're walking and she's explaining things to me because she lives there. Like, one of the things they don't do, like, if you're from there, tourists don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a bottle that's recyclable. You won't throw it in the trash. You'll place it next to the trash, because if there's a homeless person collecting bottles, you won't do them the dishonor of them dignifying
Digging through the trash.
Digging through trash.
Wow.
Just the fact that as a whole city, that's like a thing.
Yeah.
You just grow up
That's
being
cool.
considerate. Just little things, little fucking things.
Yeah.
Like all those little fucking things though add up. So, like, to me, Dom Gang, I want to find just a bunch of individuals that like going out of their way to affect positive change within their environments.
That's cool, man. That's cool. There's such a big meaning behind that. That's cool.
And it does get lost a lot behind, like, you know, the fact of what my career is.
Yeah.
But the people that really know me, like, get why I want to do that.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So I watched a music video the other day. So tell me about your music career. Are you looking to do more music or make more videos? Like get signed?
I've been training for the past nearly 10 years to be like a rock artist.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't grow up with musical influences. Like nobody taught me how to fucking sing. Nobody taught me how to do anything musically. What's fucked up is when I got into music at 23, I had already had my back injury. In about 2.5 years in, studying music theory and actually like starting, you know, what they'll tell you to do as a musician, the first thing you just need to know how to do is just to keep time, right? Just keep tempo.
Yeah.
So one of the things some of the things about me when I was in high school, what separated me from a lot of people is I did little things every single day just to get any advantage I could. If it meant stacking my backpack with extra weight and walking on my toes the entire fucking day, I did it for 4 years. 4+ years. I mean, like, I did it. Like, I just, like, just things every single day religiously. Any little thing I could. So, like, you know, when I got told that by another musician, you know, I started doing it. Doesn't matter if it was my toe, doesn't matter if it was my hand. I started always tapping to beats and always just trying to stay on time, yada, yada. Well, I had never been fucking taught that before in my goddamn life.
Uh-huh.
As an athlete, I had no concept of timing or rhythm. And yet I was still like just pure raw athleticness and just desire was just still excelling. I learned about rhythm and timing and tempo, took some MDMA one day, went to the gym and started running on the track and started like running as I was jumping in the air and scaring the shit out of myself.
Yeah.
Just because I was starting to actually get into like the tempo and flow of just natural movement. It was just insane. And like I wish I would have had that mind-body connection when I was younger, because it would have sent me into like just a whole nother level of athletics with a healthy body.
Yeah.
So as far as the music goes, you know, it's been a journey, and I've always had like the right ideas as a songwriter and vocalist on where my music should be going or how it should sound. And the process of getting to where I can produce what I want it to sound like has been like up until now where I'm getting to. So the plan is to eventually go on tour, is to be able to get on stage live with big rock acts and immerse myself in that, get my son around it, expose him to it, and just be able to connect with people more, you know. Sex is one thing, but I feel like the way porn is, it's really hard to get across any real message with the actual scenes themselves.
Right. Of course.
You know, it's not until they come to us and talk to us after that they're like, oh, they're real people.
Yeah.
You know, but with music, as you're listening, it's a broader platform than sex, because not everybody can have sex, but everybody can listen to music.
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's the next phase. You know, for me, it's about building the platform, connecting with as many people as possible, and just making your life mean something greater than yourself.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and with music, you can, if you have a message, you're able to deliver the message within the song you're trying to put out or whatever. So yeah, like you said, it's a broader platform. More people are open to music too, like Vice with the adult industry. People are kind of like, oh no, I can't watch that, it's against my whatever.
Right. You can listen to music.
Yeah. So, but Jax, I appreciate the time, man. I've held you for about an hour and some change now.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah, man. Just like you said, like people who don't know you have a perception of you or whatever. Me personally, just sitting down as a one-on-one, man, you're a real cool, down-to-earth dude, man. So I wish you luck with all your ventures, my man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob, and thank you for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate that. You gonna do another book anytime soon or what?
Actually, yeah, I've been talking with somebody about transcribing an actual maybe like autobiography.
Okay.
The biography that was done, the questions that were asked, I would have just, it wasn't like a full biography or anything like that. So
Okay.
I might do that. I have some other ideas, but first things first, like I got to get my real estate license, and I got to help my mom. That's like been like the major thing for me over the past couple of years, is getting into a better position to help her out when it needs to happen. But in the meantime, yeah, I think some things will happen this year. It's July, the world's starting to come back to a little bit.
Yep.
So, we'll see.
Shoot, tell the listeners and
The
the viewers
music will
what
be
you got
here
going on.
sooner before that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Got a
tell
bunch of
the
music.
viewers and the listeners what you got going on, my man.
I'm trying to get my music right now on Rhapsody and some other platforms, but for what I do have available, you can just do Jaxton Wheeler on YouTube or Jaxton Wheeler on iTunes, Spotify as well, and it'll pull up some stuff for you. I think on Spotify I got 4 songs there right now.
Okay.
And then I have about 5 in the bucket that I want to submit for release. And my thing is I gotta get popping on music videos.
Yeah.
I got the one, and that was filmed the damn week before the pandemic started.
I mean, at least the quality of it's good. I watched it. I was like, it doesn't look like a little bullshit ass video. Yeah, it's a good quality video. Man.
One of my best friends, he's a reggaeton artist in Madrid.
Okay.
He's amazing. I met him in 2019 in September, and he doesn't speak any English. When we hang out in Madrid, literally we just pass the phone back and forth with Google Translate. What we do.
Okay.
But he hooked me up. He got me his producer to come out, and they got me 2 female models. For the videographer, for him to shoot it and edit it, and for the 2 models, it cost me under $600 was my budget.
Oh shit, that's not bad.
That's what I said. And I got, if you notice the music video, I was getting this done.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if he was actually tattooing you. Okay.
He was. Yep.
Damn, that's what's up.
2 coats on that black. It was nice.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a real tattoo or if it was just a show.
He did the first coat. I was like, you need another coat on that. He's like, you want another coat? I was like, do it. I was like, I don't want to see anything underneath that.
Okay.
And so, that cost me only like $150.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's not a terrible quality video at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, man,
It was the first professional one done that I did, and thank heavens that the director spoke English and Spanish, because he was a mediator to speak with the 2 female models to let them know what I wanted. What's funny is, so when it opens up and that girl is crawling towards me?
Crawling towards you? Yeah.
So I think she had the Dom Gang gear on.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, the other girl was going to be the one crawling, and then I had to talk to the director. I was like, can the other girl do it instead? She has a much.
Why? Oh, okay.
I was like, it's just gonna look so much better in frame.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to ask it.
So you had your homie.
So I had the director ask it. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. I love it.
That's good, man. I wish you luck with your test coming up. And
Dude, thank you so much.
Take care of that mom, man.
The festival's coming back up soon, so that's great.
Yeah.
All those rock festivals.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be there performing at one.
That's the goal.
So I hope you do get there, man. If maybe you'll be back on the show, you know what I mean, later on down the road, talking about your music career this time.
That'd be amazing. So, dude, Rob, thank you for having me on so much.
Nah, man, thank you.
Good luck. You going forward as well.
Appreciate it.
And, like I said, hopefully we can do this again sometime in the future, and we're talking more about music.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time, my man. I wish you the best. Have a good one.
Absolutely, bud.
All right, later.